You found yourself on another edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, and on today's episode, the Sacramento Kings get a bounce-back win in response to their bad loss against the Boston Celtics with a domination over the Phoenix Suns behind another triple-double by Sabonis, and history being made for Mr. Deaaron Fox. We got a lot to break down right here on Let 'em Know Kings United. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'em Know Kings United. Let 'em know, Nation, you already know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, your Cleveland Cavaliers, Chicago Bulls, and Sacramento Kings post-game reaction podcast. And I'm your host, Tyler Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning in into today's show. And you can find Let 'em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, and wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can. Please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you want to listen to this on. It is a great way to support the podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Well, there was only one game on today for one of our teams, so this is going to be a shorter podcast than usual because there's only one game to talk about, and that is the fact that the Sacramento Kings took an L the other night against Boston, but they bounced back and responded big time with a 120-105 win over the Phoenix Suns, and the star of the night, Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis. He was huge. He went absolutely crazy. He was whooping all over the Phoenix Suns. He had his 4th triple-double of the season. And with a 28-point, 12 assist, 11 rebound night, he went absolutely crazy. And you know what? Harrison Barnes saw all the hard work that Domantas Sabonis was putting in. He said, "We see the work that he puts in. It's a testament to his commitment." Sacramento has now won 6 of their last 8 games to improve to 17-10 on the season. And they made their first 11 shots in the third quarter, with Deaaron Fox capping the streak by breaking the Sacramento era, not the entire franchise history of the Sacramento Kings, but the Sacramento era of franchise history, by breaking the record for most assists with 2,581 on a shot made by Harrison Barnes. He finished with 23 points and 7 assists on the night. Keegan Murray said something about De'Aaron Fox's record-breaking night. He said, "I've only known him for a couple years, but to see him break a lot of records while I'm here is pretty cool." You know, I really love the fact that the Sacramento Kings were able to respond and put, or I should say, get the bad taste of what the Boston Celtics did right out of their mouths. Because look, I said this a couple of shows ago. The Boston Celtics are clearly the gold standard in the NBA, okay? They might run all over the Eastern Conference, and maybe they might run all over the entire NBA, because there might be literally 0 to no competition for Boston. Now, you can argue that the Milwaukee Bucks might be up there because of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Dame Dalla, Dame Time, Dame Lillard. You can argue the Philadelphia 76ers might be competition for Boston because of Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and the crew. You could also put an argument about the Orlando Magic. Although the Orlando Magic have been struggling as of late, they've been the surprise team in the Eastern Conference. As far as the Western Conference, giving the Boston Celtics some issues, obviously Denver's got to be up there. Obviously, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who the Sacramento Kings will see tonight, they will be up there, despite the fact that Minnesota will be without their big man, Karl Anthony Towns. But they will see Anthony Edwards. And I think I saw something, or I just watched my main man, Matt George, host of Locked On Kings, shout out to him. He said something about how he loves playing at the Golden One Center because that's one of his favorite gyms to play. Let me tell you something. I expect Anthony Edwards to get his. Right? Anthony Edwards is just a generational talent of its own. And I expect Deaaron Fox to go crazy. But here's the thing. It is the second night of the back-to-back for the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are 4-0 in the first night of the back-to-back. And some of you might be thinking, that's not bad. First night of back-to-back, 4-0 for Sacramento, not bad. The second night of the back-to-back, the Sacramento Kings are 0-4. They got beaten down by Houston. They got beaten down by the Clippers. Recently, they got beaten down by the New Orleans Pelicans, and you already know what they did to Boston. They got millie-whopped. So I think the biggest issue for Sacramento is they're losing games. And I understand, losing happens, okay? You're going to have to take losses every now and again. But the thing is, the losses that the Sacramento Kings are having this season are double-digit losses. And I get it, okay? This Sacramento team is talented. This Sacramento team is so underrated. Mike Brown is the coach of the year for a reason. I have full confidence that he can figure it out. However, I need to see if the Sacramento Kings truly learned from the Boston lesson, truly learned from the Clippers lesson, truly learned about the Houston, truly learned about the New Orleans Pelicans lesson, because if they, and I'm speaking of the Sacramento Kings, if they come out tonight lifeless and flat with no energy whatsoever, Minnesota might as well just blow them out of the building. I'm not saying that might happen tonight, even though it could. I want to see if the Sacramento Kings truly and sincerely learn from the lessons that the Pelicans, Rockets, and LA Clippers gave them in the second night of the back-to-back. Do I feel confident going in? Honestly, no. And it's not that I'm biased. It's not that because I don't feel confident overall about the Sacramento Kings, because I know the Sacramento Kings will find a way to win the game. I am not confident in this game, however, because I still think that there are some lessons of the back-to-back trap that the Sacramento Kings have not learned yet. I mean, if you look at Minnesota, they are one of, if not the best team in the Western Conference. Not in the NBA, because that's clearly Boston. But in the Western Conference, they are one of the best teams. I mean, let's look at the Minnesota Timberwolves for a second. They are coming in to this game 21-6. And they are 9-5 on the road. The last time the Sacramento Kings were able to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe it was back on November 24th. It was an NBA in-season tournament game where the Sacramento Kings went to Target Center and blew the doors right out of the Minnesota Timberwolves, 124-111. At the time, it was the Minnesota Timberwolves' first loss at the Target Center. Minnesota is coming off a game where they won against the Los Angeles Lakers 118-111. Anthony Edwards went absolutely crazy. I think Karl Anthony Towns went crazy. I gotta look at the stat sheet for the Minnesota Timberwolves last game, because I truly expect that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to come ready to play. Anthony Edwards dropped 27 points that night against the Los Angeles Lakers for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He also had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. And Karl Anthony Towns, who is unfortunately going to be out for Minnesota, dropped 21 with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. So, as far as the inside matchup, I totally expect that, Domantas Sabonis will have I'm not going to say winnable matchup, because with Rudy Gobert, that is going to be a challenge, but a manageable matchup for Domantas Sabonis. I want to see if the Sacramento Kings truly learn from the lessons, the hard and tough lessons that the Clippers, Rockets, and Pelicans gave to them. I think they can, but I want to see if they can prove it. As far as Phoenix, I got to give credit to Sacramento, because they completely rattled the Phoenix Suns. They all got frustrated. They got called for technical fouls. More specifically, Kevin Durant got a technical foul off the bench for celebrating a big-time dunk. Devin Booker was complaining to the refs that he's saying that the Sacramento Kings were doing the same thing. They should be calling a technical foul. Hey, Devin Booker, newsflash, this is the National Basketball Association, not the National Crybaby Association. So get over it, you soft-ass punk. Yeah, I said it. You soft. You, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal cannot stay healthy for the life of it. The three of them cannot stay healthy, and that is the reason why the Phoenix Suns, or what's one guy that I followed on TikTok said? Oh yeah, the Phoenix Buns, they're not going anywhere. They are going to go nowhere but the lottery, because they cannot stay healthy. And Frank Vogel, he got a technical foul for arguing the ref about a call. Honestly, Frank Vogel should have been ejected from this game. Honestly, if I was one of the referees that called this game, he should have gave Kevin Durant and Devin Booker a technical foul, a signal technical foul, and gave Frank Vogel a double technical foul and get himself ejected from the game. The Phoenix Buns are absolutely classless. They are a classless organization, and they deserve to lose. I mean, sure, Kevin Durant got his, but my God, much like the LA Lakers that cannot rely on anything except LeBron James scoring, the Phoenix Suns, the only offense they got is Kevin Durant. Let's be honest. I mean, Grayson Allen is a good shooter, but the only offense is Kevin Durant. And credit to the Sacramento Kings for getting them rattled, dazed, and confused. And Frank Vogel, at the end of this game, was busted, disgusted, and as far as Phoenix, Frank Vogel cannot be trusted. But the Sacramento Kings shot completely outstanding from the field, 53% in this game, although they knocked down 31% from their threes. As far as the three-point percentage, Sacramento needs to continue to improve in the foul line, because they are one of the worst teams in the NBA as far as like foul line shooting is concerned. What else is new? But they also did some other important stats. 32 assists for Sacramento compared to 19 of them for the Phoenix Suns. 8-7. The steals were in favor of Phoenix. The blocks were 7-4 in favor of Phoenix. 15 turnovers on the night for Phoenix. 14 of them for the Sacramento Kings. The points in the paint were pretty much even, 58-56, but the fast break points were 21-11 in favor of the Sacramento Kings. The story of the night for the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant, 28.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Devin Booker dropped 24 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Grayson Allen had 11 points. He was 3 for 6 from three-point range with 3 steals, 2 assists, and a couple of boards. Off the bench, Azubuike finished with 11 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double. Eubanks only went 2 points. 2 points in 15 minutes. I mean, Eubanks cannot guard worth a spit, all right? He couldn't guard, Domantas Sabonis all night, and he made him pay. He absolutely was hooping. 28 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds, a double-double for him, or I should say a triple-double, his 4th triple-double of the season. Deaaron Fox doing Deaaron Fox things. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, including breaking a Sacramento Kings all-time assist leader's record. Kevin Huerter, he went into double figures, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal. Keegan Murray, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Harrison Barnes, he had a decent night as well, 19 points with 2 steals. Malik Monk, 7 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and a poster dunk that I had to see to believe. This man, Malik Monk, deserves to be in the dunk contest. I mean, oh my God. Devin Eubanks, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life? Did you not get the memo? Did you not understand the assignment? Did you not read the scouting report? Malik Monk can go upstairs and he can get up to the penthouse to dunk the ball. Man, that was the craziest dunk I've ever seen in my life. Good win for the Sacramento Kings. Way to bounce back, but I want to see if the Sacramento Kings could learn from their lessons that the Pelicans, Clippers, and Rockets gave them tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Luckily, they're going to be at home inside the Golden One Center, which I expect the Golden One Center to be absolutely rocking. It's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, and I'm all for it. That's going to do it for today's edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. You can find this show on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, and wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends. Give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review of whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Thank you so much for tuning in. It truly means a lot to me. I am your host, Scarlett Weisberg, and I will see you next time for another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United.